Welcome to Barefoot Radio, the show that aims to guide and support you in connecting, transforming and growing in all things love, soul and spirit. I am your host, Leanne the Barefoot Medium. I'm an international medium, twin flame, transformational coach and author who is absolutely passionate about reconnecting people with their loved ones who've passed over, spirit guides and their intuition, as well as providing practical knowledge and guidance, tools and techniques you can use in your everyday lives to embrace what it is you love and what brings you into connection with your joy so you can be more of your authentic self. Feel free to kick off your shoes, sit back, relax and enjoy today's show, where I want to talk to you about putting up with things in relationships. Now, relationships come in all sorts of different forms, whether it's family, friends, romantic partner, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, colleagues, clients, or just random people that we come across. We form relationships in our everyday lives. And every relationship has its ups and downs that people have to learn to navigate. Relationships are our biggest learnings and our biggest growth in this lifetime from a soul perspective. It's where we learn the most about what we value, what allows us to feel loved, supported and honored within each of our connections. And it's how we learn to navigate through those relationships if we want to survive and thrive in life. That is really important and essential. Now, we all have things that I would consider unique deal breakers, or what I call red flags. Things that are unacceptable based on our personal experiences and preferences in life. Now, these are things that just make us feel uncomfortable. They're unacceptable behavior, or they lower our self-confidence and self-esteem. So you will all have deal breakers or red flags in your relationships, no matter who you are or what you've done in your life or experienced. There are some things that none of us should put up with in relationships, no matter what. So today's show, I really want to talk to you about some of the things that you might be putting up with in relationships, and to really start asking yourself the question, is that okay for me? Is it a red flag? Is it a deal breaker in this relationship? So that you can really look at what is happening. And if they are deal breakers and red flags for you, make some choices and decisions about transforming and changing the experiences that you have, whether that means getting out or having an open, honest conversation about how change can be created. So some of the things that I want to talk about that are things that you should never put up with in relationships. And the first one is insults or name calling. Whether it's playful, sarcastic, or meant to be a joke, it's different in terms of different people's way of dealing with life and different people's red flags or deal breakers. And repeatedly being put down, called degrading names or derogatory names, or insulted, whether in private or in public, if it makes you feel uncomfortable and is not funny for you, it is not okay. Even if the other person finds it funny, it's not okay and it's not acceptable. That's a red flag for you. The next one is humiliation. Whether someone brings up an embarrassing story or situations or circumstances from your past in front of other people, or talks about your mistakes or how bad you are at certain things, resulting in other people laughing or you're feeling humiliated, then that's a red flag or a deal breaker for you. The next one, arguments and fights. If someone takes every opportunity they can to start an argument or a fight with you, whether it's a niggly comment or, just an action that they know will push your button, whether it's yelling, screaming, blaming you, or just actions that really do sabotage and create fights and arguments, then there's a serious problem in that relationship, and there's a red flag there for you. Now, following on from that is blame. Feeling as if you can't do anything right. Nothing is ever good enough. Everything is wrong, and you alone are to blame for everything that's happening. And the other person takes no responsibility whatsoever for their words, their actions, or their behaviors in connection to what's going on in the relationship. Relationships are two-way communications and two-way connections. So it is always both people's responsibility to shift and change whatever is occurring. The next one is ridicule. Everyone is entitled to their own belief systems and standards of behaviour that they find acceptable or unacceptable. And if someone is constantly ridiculing you for your beliefs, your values, or what you consider acceptable in life, then that's really a time for you to stop, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, is this a deal breaker for me? The next one is attacks on your self-esteem. Now, this one can be really subtle or it can be really obvious. So it's important that you're present and conscious to what's happening. If you're experiencing constant negative words, criticism, complaints, all of that's really low vibrational and heavy and negative, or projections about problems that the other person is having that are just being sent your way, whether it's related to your physical appearance, work and career choices, finances, your capacity to deal with situations that come up in life, your living arrangements, what you have or how you parent your child, how you cook, anything, etc., 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 that comes up where it's just constant negative words, thoughts, and projections, has a significant impact on your mental and emotional state and your confidence levels, leaving you feeling unworthy, unhappy, sometimes depressed, undervalued, disrespected, unloved, and unable to do anything. So be conscious of any subtle or obvious attacks on your self-esteem and really allow yourself to acknowledge that as a red flag for you. The next one is put downs against your friends or family members. Now, if someone is attempting to make you dislike or hate or no longer communicate or connect with your friendship circle or your family members or everyone besides them, then there is a serious deal breaker or red flag there. If that is happening in your relationship, the other person is generally very lonely, and they're often attempting to isolate you from other people in your life so that you become dependent on them for your self-esteem, for being able to do anything in your life and your happiness. And a very big red flag for that one. The next one is mood swings. Now, we all have days where we might feel a little bit low, a little bit sad, or we might have days where we feel really happy and joyful, and that's normal. But if things are fantastic for a week or two and someone's telling you how wonderful, amazing, beautiful you are and how much they love you And then all of a sudden, for no real reason, their mood switches and they criticize everything and everything that you do, making you feel useless. That's a massive deal breaker. This keeps you constantly on your toes and on edge about what it is you can expect when you're connecting with this person in each moment or from day to day. And it will only get worse. So it's something that you really should never put up with. The next one is that sense of uneasy or anxiousness or anxiety that comes up. Now, our physical bodies and our intuition are constantly talking to us and letting us know through our emotions when someone is not right for us, by making you feel uneasy and anxious. So if you have that sense of uneasiness and anxiety come up, pause. Your intuition is telling you that this is not a good relationship for you. Listen and trust your instincts. A person who cares about you and loves you will not make you feel this way. The final one is constantly wanting to cry. If you want to curl up, stay in bed, hide away, not move, and cry most of the time, there is a massive problem in your relationship. Not only in relation to the person you're connecting with, but the relationship itself, as it's essentially taking away your power, your happiness, and your sense of joy in life. And really, the most important relationship that you have in your life is with you. So, what are the things that you're putting up with in your relationships? What are your unique deal breakers and red flags? And what is it that you are putting up with that you're now saying, that's a big no for me? Because you have to be willing to say no to what isn't working for you in relationships in order for the universe to bring you the right relationship. So by saying no and getting clear on those deal breakers and red flags for you, you're sending a message out to the universe and going, hey, I'm going to step it up. I'm worth more than this. And so the universe then has to send you more and better. You control your happiness. And you have the power to decide and choose what it is you allow and do not allow in your relationships. If you are putting up with any of these things in your relationships, the first step I want you to take today is to acknowledge where you're at and that you're putting up with things that are deal breakers and red flags for you, that things are unacceptable for you based on your own values, beliefs, personal experiences, and preferences. None of you should have to put up with things in relationship, no matter what. So be brave. Have the courage to raise your standards. Get out of unfulfilling relationships or unhealthy relationships. Leave the person far behind and step up and step out into better things. Then get focused. Refocus on you. Focus on yourself physically in terms of exercising, health, well-being. Then look at your mental well-being, your thoughts, your inner self-talk, the words, the stories that you're using about yourself, the inner chatter. And then look at your emotional world and follow what is your joy, follow your flow, follow what is loving, kind, generous, and happy for you. Get focused on your dreams and your visions spiritually. What is it that you want out of life? What's your dream? What's the vision? And what are your goals? And stay true to yourself. Don't let anyone else navigate your relationship journey. So I hope that the information shared in this episode of Barefoot Radio is really helping you to get clear on your relationships and where it is in your life that you're putting up with things and where it is that you can create some change or transformation. If any of you need some help or support with doing that and creating change or getting clear on your red flags or your deal breakers and really creating those changes, then jump on my website, thebarefootmedium.com.au, and check out my transformational coaching programs. And I really can support you in really getting clear on those relationships and clearing out the things that you're uncomfortable with and that are not acceptable for you, to make space for the new and for beautiful, amazing, loving, kind relationships to come into your life. If you'd like to also connect with me further, don't forget to subscribe and follow Barefoot Radio here on SoundCloud, and that's under Leanne the Barefoot Medium. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Leanne the Barefoot Medium, Instagram, The Barefoot Medium, YouTube, Leanne the Barefoot Medium, and also subscribe to the Barefoot Tribe through my website, thebarefootmedium.com.au. It has been a pleasure connecting with you on today's show, and I certainly hope that you have enjoyed. Please comment below and let me know your thoughts so that we can interact and share. Wherever you are in your journey, and whoever it is you are connecting with, I wish you a magical, loving and joyful week, and I hope that you are able to journey through life with connections, transformations and growth around all things love, soul and spirit. And I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode of Barefoot Radio.